He was a player back in the day. He did his thing. He knew the game. He knew how to talk to the ladies. He knew how they, what I'm saying, charm them up a little bit. He knew how to use his voice and his eyes. He knew those certain buttons to push in order to, work her up to get her interested in him. He knew how to keep her guessing. He had the game. He knew the game. And so he had girls lined up, and he was never faithful to any of them. But he used the excuse that, hey, I'm not with anybody. I'm solo. I roll single. So when he got what he wanted, the females neglected. They didn't think about if they gave him what he wanted, that he would use him up and go to the next one. They were thinking that if they gave him what he wanted, then she could snag him. She could be the one to win him over. So she's giving her all to this guy who's really not really interested in her. And so here he comes, he's going about his business and he comes across this one young lady and boom, it's like, wow. He's like, man, there's something about this one. I met a lot of girls, but this one right here, something about her. And so he begins to fall for her. Now, this girl is no easy pickings. She's not just going to fall for your basic charm, even though she likes you, because you are a charming guy. You have nice looks, you're athletic or whatever. You tend to be a good conversationalist. She is around you, but she's not necessarily going to trust you. She's seen you. She's seen you in action, man. I mean, you expect her to just trust you just like that? So that insecurity that she has is basically a warning system. Too close, too close, too close. Too soon, too soon, too soon. And so, yeah, even if she likes you and she wants to be with you, she's going to question you. She's going to look at you. She's going to be judging you to see if it's proper for her to give over her emotions, to go all in. Because if she goes all in, she could totally end up like one of those other girls in your whole line of relationships. So she's totally within her rights, and you have to give her time, you have to give her space, and you have to give her the attention that she needs to show that you've actually changed and that you actually are invested in this and that you have no desires to go back to your old way of living, your old life. And if it's one thing that I know, living on this planet 43 years, if it's one thing that I know, is that the hardest thing to do is to change. It's the hardest thing to do. There are people who go to the doctor and the doctor tells them you're in jeopardy of having lung cancer. And they go right to the doctor's office, and within a couple of weeks, they're back puffing on that cigarette, blowing out that smoke. I don't know how they justify it in their own minds, but they do, and they keep smoking because they're used to that habit. It frees their nerves, or I don't know what cigarettes do for people, but yeah. So, what do you think a lifestyle where your egos and everything, your self image of yourself is constantly being fed by the validation of women. And now you meet one who has to fulfill that same validation of all these different women, but she doesn't even know if you're going to be approached or come across someone who you just, your old ways sneak back in, you just do your little charming and you get a lot of offers. How does she know you're not going to fall back into that old way of life? That life is a testimony of who you are, and until you can prove otherwise that you've changed, she has a right to be insecure. She's smart for being insecure. It's her own system, her own protective system that is blocking you out of some element of who she is because she doesn't know if she can trust you or not. Now, it should be enough that she's with you, that she's willing to try. So it's up. You got to put in some work, man. You got to put in some work. Basically, you got to go through the probationary period. If it takes 66 days to change a habit, I'm gonna give you 66 just to see. That's the talking phase. I'm gonna give you another 66 to see in a probationary period that if you make one false move, because I'm watching you, I'm watching you like a hawk. I was a young lady, smart young lady. Then I give you another 66 days, and I start revealing maybe some things to you if you've passed these other phases. And if you can't take it, you can't hack it, and you fall off, that's you. Because I'm worth it. I'm a young lady who cares about herself, who has values in life, who doesn't fall for just basic charm, but who falls for character. You know? I mean, and if you're willing to do that for that valuable girl, what you get in return for going through that time limit, and within that time limit, you're actually meeting the parents before you're even together, and the dad has seen you and seen a change in you, and you know, and everybody is saying, "Oh my God, this person has changed. This person has changed. This person has changed." So now it's not just you saying you've changed; it's other witnesses that have seen you go through this transformation of your life, and what you get on the other side of that, it'd be well worth more than all of the validation for all the females that you've gone through and been with. It's much deeper, it's much more spiritual, much more connected, much more life giving, much more positive. And when she does let go of that insecurity, don't you do it. Don't you go back and be like, it was just a challenge and I finally got her. I did it. Don't go back thinking that she just got it. Don't do that to her, man. Don't do that to yourself because you're not going to find anything else like that again, perhaps. So you can either choose to change, to really change, and to go forward and to be with her, or you cannot change and just keep living your life the way you live. Keep living it the way you've been living and enjoy the validation from these mediocre girls because this girl of high value she's worth much more than that. So her insecurity is there for a reason. So let her have that insecurity. Do what you got to do. Put in the work. Give her the space and the time in order to prove yourself. And not to her. Prove it to yourself that you can change. Prove it to yourself, man. And so, yeah. You can be insecure too. So worry about your own insecurities. All right. Talk to you soon. Mr. Felder signing out. Relationship advice for teens. All right. Keep it real, y'all.